Hey there! Welcome back to the channel. Your absence speaks louder than words, so let me ask you something that cuts straight to the truth. Why is it that the moment you stop explaining yourself, stop checking in, stop trying to be understood, certain people suddenly feel uneasy? Why does silence make them restless when your words never did? It's because silence removes access, and access is what they were comfortable with. In a world where everyone is constantly available, constantly reacting, constantly proving their worth, the person who knows when to step back becomes impossible to ignore. This is not about disappearing out of fear. This is about choosing distance with intention. Stoic philosophy reminds us that power lives in what we control, not in how others respond. Marcus Aurelius warned, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. When you stop reacting, you take your power back. When you stop chasing, you stop begging for recognition. When you walk away quietly, you force others to sit with their own actions. Your absence becomes a mirror. People begin to replay moments. They question their choices. They feel the weight of what they assumed would always be there, not because you demanded attention, but because you removed it. Most people misunderstand silence. They think it's weakness, avoidance, or loss. In reality, silence is discipline. It is emotional control. It is the decision to protect your energy instead of wasting it on those who do not value it. When you stay quiet, you break unhealthy patterns. You stop feeding dynamics built on control, validation, and dependency. You reclaim your time, your focus, and your dignity. This video is not about revenge or manipulation. It is about self-mastery. It is about knowing your worth so deeply that you don't need to announce it. The strongest presence is often felt most when it's gone. Over the next tips, you will learn how to use absence with clarity, how to remain calm when old habits try to pull you back, and how to let your silence speak from a place of strength instead of pain. Before we continue, anchor yourself in this truth and make it real. I want you to drop this affirmation in the comments and stand by it. I protect my energy. My absence is a choice, not a loss. Number 1. Stop explaining yourself immediately and completely. The moment you feel the urge to justify your silence, your distance, or your decision, you are leaking power. Explanation is often mistaken for maturity, but in situations where respect has already been ignored, explanation becomes permission. Stoic wisdom makes this clear. Epictetus said, "It is not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters. When you rush to explain, you react instead of choosing." Silence forces others to face uncertainty, and uncertainty forces reflection. When you remove explanations, people can no longer twist your words, argue with your reasons, or negotiate your boundaries. They are left with only one thing: your absence. That is where clarity begins. Command yourself to pause. Do not defend your peace. Do not over-communicate your standards. If someone truly respects you, they will not need a speech to understand your distance. If they don't respect you, no amount of explanation will suddenly teach them. Your calm refusal to engage sends a stronger message than emotional paragraphs ever could. This is not cruelty. This is self-command. By staying quiet, you are training emotional discipline. You are proving to yourself that you don't need approval to stand firm. You are shifting from reactive behavior to intentional action. People who relied on your availability will feel the shift immediately. They will replay conversations. They will question assumptions. They will sense the boundary without you having to announce it. That is real authority. Remember, Stoicism teaches restraint, Not silence for silence's sake, but silence as a tool of wisdom. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "The best revenge is to be unlike him who performed the injury." By withholding explanations, you refuse to play the old role. You become unreadable, grounded, and self-led. Command yourself now to let actions speak. Let distance do the talking. Let your calm become the answer. At the end of this tip, seal it with intention. Number 2, commanding your response instead of surrendering. The moment someone reaches out, your body reacts before your mind does. Your heart speeds up, your thoughts race. That is exactly where most people lose power. Stoic discipline demands that you pause before you act, because action without control always favors the other person. Marcus Aurelius reminded us, "The soul becomes dyed with the color of its thoughts." If your thoughts are rushed, anxious, or hopeful, your response will carry that weakness. Do not let that happen. You must slow the moment down and place yourself back in authority. Silence for a short time is not avoidance. It is alignment. You are not punishing them. You are centering yourself. When you delay your reply, you send a quiet message that your life is full, your attention is earned, and your peace is protected. This changes the emotional balance immediately. People expect quick replies from those they feel superior to. When that expectation is broken, respect enters the room. You are not playing hard to get. You are being hard to shake. Epictetus taught that freedom begins when you stop needing external approval. Waiting before responding breaks the addiction to validation. It teaches your nervous system that you do not need instant connection to feel secure. That inner stability is felt even through text. The other person will sense restraint, not desperation. They will feel uncertainty instead of certainty. And uncertainty makes people rethink how they treated you. This is how you reclaim ground without saying a single extra word. Command yourself to breathe. Command yourself to stay grounded. Command yourself to remember that urgency benefits them, not you. You are not here to soothe their curiosity or relieve their guilt. You respond when you are calm, clear, and unmoved. That is how strength communicates itself. Not through long explanations, not through emotional replies, through controlled timing and steady presence. End this lesson by locking it into your identity. I want you to drop this affirmation in the comments. My calm puts me in control. Number 3, judging actions instead of getting trapped by language. Words are easy. Messages cost nothing. Anyone can type concern, curiosity, or regret. Stoic philosophy warns us again and again not to confuse sound with substance. Seneca said, "Time discovers truth." That means meaning is revealed through behavior stretched over consistency, not sentences sent in comfort. When they reach out, do not analyze tone, emojis, timing, or nostalgia. Those details are distractions. Your task is to observe patterns. Ask yourself one hard question and do not soften it. What changed in their conduct, not their communication? If nothing changed, nothing is new. This mindset removes emotional fog instantly. You stop guessing. You stop hoping. You stop filling silence with fantasy. You become grounded in reality. That alone restores authority. Manipulation survives on emotional interpretation. Power grows through clear observation. Do not reward effort that required no risk. Do not assign value to curiosity dressed as care. People who are serious move differently. They follow up with consistency. They show patience when you are not immediately available. They respect boundaries instead of pushing them. They do not rush intimacy or reopen wounds without accountability. This is where most people fail. They respond to words because words feel good. But words without follow-through are empty calories. They excite you briefly and leave you weaker afterward. Discipline means staying unreduced by familiarity. Discipline means letting time do the talking. Hold your position and watch. If actions align, clarity will arrive without force. If they do not, confusion disappears on its own. You do not need closure conversations. You do not need explanations. Reality explains itself when you stop interrupting it with emotion. This is how Stoics stayed unshaken in chaotic environments. They trusted observation over impulse. You must do the same. Your silence paired with awareness becomes a filter. Only seriousness passes through it. Everything else fades. Lock this lesson into your core before moving forward. Number 4, demands that you stop tying your inner balance to what someone else chooses to do next. The moment you wait for a reply, a decision or a sign, you hand your authority away. This is where most people fail because they confuse patience with power. Stoic discipline teaches the opposite. Seneca warned, "He who suffers before it is necessary suffers more than is necessary." When you obsess over what might happen, you create pain that has not even arrived. You must end that habit now. Your role is not to predict, persuade, or prepare emotional defenses. Your role is to remain unmoved. When you detach from expectations, you stop negotiating with uncertainty. You no longer wake up hoping for movement. You no longer feel tension in silence. You no longer adjust your worth based on someone's behavior. This inner separation is what restores command over yourself. Detachment does not mean indifference. It means clarity without attachment. It means standing firm without chasing reassurance. When you are grounded like this, everything changes. Your responses slow down. Your words carry weight. Your presence feels solid instead of reactive. People sense when you're no longer emotionally dependent on an outcome. That awareness forces honesty to surface. Either they approach you with real intent, or they drift away on their own. Both results protect you. This mindset also prevents you from repeating old loops. You stop romanticizing potential. You stop explaining away inconsistency. You stop giving energy to confusion. You let actions speak without commentary. Practice this by refusing to pause your life for anyone's uncertainty. Keep your routines strong. Keep your focus forward. Let your days be full without their involvement. This is how emotional independence is built. Marcus Aurelius reminded us, the tranquility that comes when you stop caring what they say or think, only what you do. Live by that now. Stay rooted, stay calm, stay sovereign. Lock this truth into your identity before moving on. Number 5, reclaiming command through deliberate restraint. Not silence as avoidance, but silence as strategy, because the strongest position is the one that does not rush to explain itself. When you feel the urge to clarify, defend, or prove your intentions, stop immediately. That impulse is not wisdom. It is fear trying to negotiate comfort. Epictetus taught, "It is impossible for a man to learn what he thinks he already knows, and when you rush to speak, you block observation. Hold back and watch instead. Notice patterns. Notice consistency or lack of it. Notice effort without prompting. This is how truth reveals itself. Power grows when you allow space to expose reality. You are not required to narrate your feelings. You are not responsible for managing someone else's confusion. You are not obligated to soften boundaries so others feel secure. Silence used with intention becomes a mirror. It forces others to confront their motives without distraction. If someone values you, they will step forward with clarity, not breadcrumbs. If someone only wants access, they will grow restless and expose themselves through impatience. This is why restraint is essential. It keeps you from leaking energy. It prevents impulsive decisions. It trains emotional discipline. Practice this by pausing before every response. Ask yourself whether your words add strength or simply ease discomfort. Choose strength every time. Keep your posture calm. Keep your tone measured. Let your actions remain consistent while your mouth stays selective. This approach shifts the balance instantly. You become unpredictable in the right way. You become respected rather than consumed. Masonries. Rufus said, "We should choose silence when words are unnecessary. Make that your rule. Let your presence do the talking. Let time test intentions. Let stillness sharpen your authority." This is not coldness. This is self-command. Anchor this lesson now and move forward without wavering. I want you to drop this affirmation in the comments with conviction. I speak with purpose and power. My restraint protects my value. Number 6. Protect your energy and set boundaries. Take command of your energy immediately. Your presence is powerful, and your absence is even more powerful. Recognize that when someone reaches out unexpectedly, they are testing your boundaries. Stoic philosophy teaches us through Marcus Aurelius, you have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. This is not a suggestion, it's a directive. You must guard your time, emotions, and attention as if your life depends on it, because it does. Don't allow their curiosity, manipulations, or nostalgia to pull you back into a cycle that devalues your presence. Boundaries are your armor. Enforce them without guilt. Say no internally and externally when needed, and refuse to justify your choices unnecessarily. Silence becomes your shield, not a weapon of passive aggression. When you do not respond immediately or at all, you communicate that your attention is not a commodity they can demand. Your value is not in their recognition, but in your self-respect. Hold space for yourself. Engage only when alignment with your values occurs, not out of habit, fear, or longing. Their discomfort is their problem. Your serenity is your victory. This is the essence of self-discipline, controlling your impulses, protecting your inner life, and refusing to surrender your power for fleeting external validation. Remember, absence magnifies presence, but only if you preserve your integrity and emotional energy. Do not allow regret or impatience to erode your resolve. Every time you uphold your boundaries, you reinforce your self-worth. Every time you refuse to chase or justify, you elevate your authority over your own life. Command your energy. It's yours to govern. Assert your space unapologetically and watch how respect, acknowledgement, and clarity come naturally to those who value it authentically. Number 7. Respond from power, not impulse. Command your actions with precision. Do not respond immediately just because a message appears or a call rings. Stoics remind us through Epictetus, it's not what happens to you, but how you react that matters. Your power lies in deliberate choice, not reactive behavior. Every impulse to answer, explain, or justify must be examined before it reaches your lips or fingers. Pause. Breathe. Assess whether responding serves your values or feeds someone else's control. Remember, people reaching out after distance or neglect are often driven by curiosity, ego, or convenience, not genuine care. Responding out of habit or longing only teaches them that your attention is negotiable, that your boundaries are flexible, and that your self-worth is conditional. Stand firm. Use your absence as a mirror for them to reflect on what they lost. and what they failed to appreciate. When you finally decide to communicate, let it be intentional, confident, and aligned with your integrity. Do not over-explain, do not beg, do not justify your silence. Let clarity and composure dominate your words. Your calm, measured response demonstrates mastery over your emotions and signals strength without arrogance. Each moment you resist impulsive replies, you reinforce your authority over your life, commanding respect without confrontation. Silence is not emptiness, it is strategy. It is an unspoken declaration that your value is inherent and non-negotiable. Cultivate this discipline consistently, because real empowerment comes from choosing when to act, not from reacting to external triggers. Every delayed or measured response builds your reputation as someone self-possessed and unshakable. Remember, your reactions reveal your inner power. Control them, and you control the situation. I want you to drop this affirmation in the comments. I respond from strength, not impulse. Number 8. Let your absence speak volumes. Command your space and honor your presence by practicing deliberate absence. Stop proving your worth with words, messages, or attention. The strongest statement you can make is through your silence and your decision to step back. Marcus Aurelius said, "Waste no more time arguing about what a good man should be one." Apply this to your life. Stop explaining, stop chasing, stop filling voids that aren't yours to occupy. Your absence is not abandonment, it is power. Each moment you withhold yourself strategically, you create a void that forces reflection and reveals your value. People will notice, question, and perhaps regret what they took for granted, but that is not your concern. Your concern is your integrity, your emotional discipline, and your ability to remain unshaken. Do not give in to the temptation of breaking your silence out of longing or insecurity. Doing so undermines the authority you've built through restraint. Stand firm and let time illuminate your significance. When they reach out again, your response, or deliberate lack thereof, will carry weight because it is chosen, not reactive. Silence makes your worth undeniable. It teaches others that attention is earned, not assumed. Your power is not in their acknowledgement, but in your unwavering self-possession. Every step back, every paused response, every boundary reinforced builds a fortress around your self-respect that no manipulation can breach. Remember, absence is a language everyone understands, and when used wisely, it becomes unstoppable leverage. Protect your energy, elevate your self-worth, and refuse to bend to impulsive emotions. You have learned that power is not demanded, it is claimed. Silence, absence, and self-discipline are not signs of weakness, they are proof of mastery over your emotions and your value. Stoics remind us that external actions cannot harm your inner peace unless you allow them to. Marcus Aurelius said, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." Every tip in this video is about reclaiming control, protecting your energy, and honoring yourself above all else. Do not give your attention to those who do not respect it. Do not rush to fill the voids they left or to explain your choices. Walk with confidence, stand with clarity, and let your absence do the speaking. This is your life, and your time is priceless. Let every action you take, every boundary you enforce, and every moment you remain calm reinforce your value. Others may wonder, question, or even regret, but that is the natural consequence of respect not earned. Your responsibility is not their realization. It is your unwavering self-respect and emotional discipline. Begin today. Stop reacting. Start observing and let your presence and absence shape the reality around you. You are stronger than you think, wiser than you feel, and more valuable than you know. Protect that power relentlessly. If you've absorbed this lesson, commit to it daily. Drop this affirmation in the comments. I protect my power and let my presence and absence define my value. Take this knowledge, apply it fiercely, and watch your life transform. Subscribe to this channel to continue learning how to wield your power, guard your worth, and cultivate unshakable inner strength. Your journey toward mastery begins now.